Welcome to the course of DEC 3023, Computer Networking Fundamentals. I am Sheila, as a tutor for this e-classroom. In this class we are going to explore about the Open System Interconnection Model or OSI model. The OSI model is a set of 7 layers that defines the different stages that data transfer from source to destination on any network in the world. Each teaching activity should include learning outcomes. The lesson learning outcome for this class are: first, to describe the purpose of OSI model. Second, to define functions of each layer in OSI model. And third, to describe the communication process of each layer through the OSI model. The OSI model is developed by International Organization for Standardization ISO. The OSI model is a set of 7 layers, which are: Layer 7, Application Layer; Layer 6, Presentation Layer; Layer 5, Session Layer; Layer 4, Transport Layer; Layer 3, Network Layer; Layer 2, Data Link Layer; Layer 1, Physical Layer. This set of 7 layers model defines the different stages that data must go through to transfer from source to destination on any network of the world. It is an abstract model of how network protocols and equipment should communicate and work together. The model also describes how network hardware and software operating together in the form of layers to communicate with each other. Each layer uses protocol communication to perform functions related to physical communications, such as constructing packets and transmitting packet-containing signals. Each layer deals with data and process it, and then data can be transferred to next layer. Application Layer. Application layer is the upper layer in OSI model and also called Layer 7. In this layer, all the data processing is application-based, such as File Transfers Protocol. FTP is the simple file transfer protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTP is for browser web page. Domain Name System DNS is to translate the website name to an IP address. Simple Network Management Protocol SNMP is allows to control of networked devices. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol SMTP is used to send email. And Post Office Protocol POP is to retrieve email. This layer provides services for an application program to ensure that effective communication with another application program in a network is possible. Data that this layer will be processed before transfer to layer presentation. In the OSI communications model, the application layer and the user interact directly with the software application. This means that this layer is the closest layer to the end user. Presentation Layer. Presentation layer is layer 6 of OSI model and sometimes also called as syntax layer. This layer is responsible for encrypt and decrypt data for security purposes and improve the throughput of data. The data also compress and expand to enable security and more efficient transmission of the data as it travels down the protocol stack. This layer converts the data from application layer to standard format that session layer can understand. Layer 6 also change the format of data received from lower layers to a format acceptable to the higher layer before transfer it to next layer, which is session layer. The reason why the presentation layer is sometimes not mentioned is that its functions may be performed as part of the application layer. Session Layer. The 5th layer in the OSI reference model is the session layer. When the data is received from presentation layer, it is converted in the form of session. This session are divided into subsession and at a sequence number as a checking point if the system crashes. Session layer make connection and operation with presentation layer and transport layer. This layer establish, maintain and terminates the communication between applications. This layer will identify the names and functions, such as security, needed to allow two applications to communicate on the network. Transport Layer. The transport layer is the 4th layer of the OSI reference model. Transport layer is responsible for the overall delivery of messages from the sender to receiver with acknowledgements. At the transport layer, the data is placed into packet or call segment and each packet is transferred separately. A message is broken into packets to ensure that packets are not lost during transmission and the packet is error-free, in sequence, and not be copied. Transport layer also set the protocol to structure the messenger and to check the validity of transmission. The layer ensures the reliable arrival of messages and provides error checking mechanisms and data flow controls. The transport layer provides services for both connection and connectionless transmissions. Connection transmissions, where a transmission may be sent or arrive in the form of packets that need to be reconstructed into a complete message at the other end. Connectionless transmission is typically provided by the user datagram protocol. A connectionless protocol describes the communication between two network endpoints where a message is sent from one endpoint to another without a prior arrangement. It is just packet switching where no call establishment and release occurs, so the packets can travel different route to the destination since there is no connection network layer. The network layer is layer 3 in the 7 layers of OSI model. At the network layer, data is placed into packets. Network layer is responsible for the packets transmission in the network connection from the source to destination. The network layer is primarily concerned with message routing and switching functions. This layer will ensure that each packet will reach the destination efficiently. It is designed to establish and clear logical or physical connections across the particular network. Data link layer. The data link is layer 2 in OSI model. The data link layer provides node-to-node data transfer, the reliable link between two directly connected nodes, by detecting and possibly correcting errors that may occur in a physical layer. At data link layer, data is placed into frames. This layer that takes care of error detection and correction through the retransmission of messages. The data link layer is divided into two sub-layers. Media access control MAC layer, responsible for controlling how devices in a network gain access to data and permission to transmit it. Logical link control LLC layer, controls error checking and packet synchronization. Data link layers can provide both connectionless and connection-oriented services. The connection-oriented system is where the devices try to establish a physical link before attempting data transmission. For the connectionless system, each information packet is treated as a self-contained entity that is transferred to a target node without a two-way connection having been established. Physical layer. Physical layer is the lowest layer in OSI model. This layer is directly responsible for transmitting a stream of binary digits in the forms of ones and zeros from one device to another. Physical layer deals with the hardware connections on the networks. That is why this layer is special compared to the other layers, because it is the only one data that move across the network interface. This is the animation video of the OSI model. This video gives a description of how the computers communicate over the network. The OSI model is just a theoretical model compared to TCP/IP model, which is widely implemented in computer networking. There are 7 separate layers of OSI model. Each layer talks to the corresponding layer on the node of the destination. Now let us see the Osi Stack used to send email from PC to the server. The application layer responsible to provide interface to the application program and use SMTP commands. Presentation layer responsible to convert texts to Osi format and specify the format of the image. Session layer responsible for facilitates the starting, handling and ending connection between the nodes. At the transport layer, the data broke into segment. The network layer provide the address across the internet and the packet routing from source and destination. The data link layer, the data become frame and have the physical addresses of two nodes data is traveling. The physical layer puts the bits on the physical medium. From here, the router send frame over the different network with different data link protocol. The IP address used to determine the destination of the packet. If the router congested, the packet will lost. The lost packet will be retransmit by the sender transport layer. If the receiving layer didn't receive any acknowledgement, the frame will be resent. At the destination, the bits from physical layer converts back to frame. Data link layer removes header and convert back to IP packet. Network layer remove IP header and converts back into segment. Transport layer assembles the segment back into original data. Session layer determine the communication stream data belong to. Presentation layer interpret the data for the specific machine. Application layer read me SMTP command by the sender application layer.